Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to present the best tier 6 tech tree tanks in World of Tanks. I will further explain why you should definitely play those tanks and I will give you some additional tips and tricks. If you're interested in more reviews and gameplay, go to YouTube and search for World of Tanks with Bruce to get all of my videos, or click on the subscribe button. And now let's go. In this video I will present two medium tanks that you should start playing if you want to improve your gameplay. First we will take a look at the Strv 74, the Swedish tier 6 medium tank. Thereafter we will take a look at the Skoda T-25, the Czechoslovakian tier 6 medium tank. I will show you why those tanks are superb and why mastering those tanks will significantly improve your overall gameplay. Now, as you can see, I play the Strv with an improved ventilation, with the gun rammer and with coated optics, so basically a very standard setup. My crew is relatively good. It does have the gun handling skills as well as the brothers in arms, and then also the concealment skills. And on the commander I am currently working on the recon skill, on the situational awareness skill. And in my opinion this tank offers a great combination of a very accurate gun, a good overall DPM, good mobility, and also the concealment value is quite nice, same as the view range. So overall it's just a nice tier 6 medium tank. Talking about the Swedish tech tree, those tanks are all super nice. The Tier 6 tank is superb, same as the Leo. It is, in my opinion, one of the best medium tier 7 tanks. If you play this tank, play it with a small gun. Don't play it with a 300 alpha gun, because what makes this tank strong is its mobility, its way to outplay your opponents, and you can only achieve this with a precise gun, so take the tier 6 gun. That is my recommendation. Now, the UDAS on tier 8 is a good tank, same applies for the UDAS 16, and also the UDAS 15-16 on tier 10 is a good tank, so I can really recommend this tech tree. Plus you get an additional 3 very strong heavy tanks if you play this tech tree, so this is kind of my recommendation overall in World of Tanks. Alright, here we are in the first game in our Strv 74. We are spawning on Erlenberg. And as usual, let's first of all take a look at the map. Spawning on Erlenberg in the north, the situation usually looks like this, and with the medium tank you have several options. You can go here to the 2 lane and play somewhere around here. You can sometimes maybe get crossfire towards this portion of the map when enemy tanks are approaching this portion. You can play defensively here and try to punish enemy tanks that are making mistakes right here and exposing themselves. And you can also play on this side and yeah, try to get crossfire on those guys as well as on those guys. Now the problem is that this position here requires quite some gun depression. Fortunately the Strv 74 offers a lot of gun depression, and so yeah, this is a position that is maybe well suited for this tank compared to other tanks. Alright, so due to the fact that the Strv does offer such a nice gun depression, I want to play on the left hand side and not on the right hand side. Sorry. Now, why do I think that the Strv 74 is one of the best tier 6 medium tanks in the game? In my opinion, it offers everything a solid, or not a solid, but a very competitive medium tank should have. It has a good mobility, as you can see. It has a very accurate gun. It is very flexible due to its gun depression. And yeah, so I think those are the things that a medium tank should have. Now, why do I think that you should master this tank in order to become a good World of Tanks player overall? Well, because this tank offers 2 things. One is mobility, and then the other thing is the flexibility that you have with your gun depression. Now, as you can see here, we only need to expose a very little portion of our tank due to our insane gun depression. Now, with this tank, you can even outplay other tanks if they are peeking over a ridge line and don't have enough gun depression, because yeah, you will be able to get shots on them, and they will not have the same opportunity. Now, as you can see, this position offers quite a nice line of fire towards the middle of the tank, where lots of enemy tanks are playing. And this is the second thing that I would like you to try to improve yourself and try to incorporate this into your thought process anytime you play World of Tanks. At least anytime you play such a tank in World of Tanks. And this is, where can you get a line of fire for a sniper tank? Now, with the gun depression this tank offers, you have an excellent sniper tank, and as you can see, getting shots via a great distance is not a problem at all in this tank. And so, yeah, here you go, we can just farm the opponent. And so you should always ask yourself, where can I get a line of fire towards other tanks? And if you can play in a very centralized or central position on the map, where you have lots of opportunities to get lines of fire towards other tanks, towards enemy tanks, then you are playing at the correct position. And this tank offers it offers such a great amount of flexibility due to its gun depression. And so there is no limit, in other words, for this tank in order to exploit those positions. And so this is why I really believe that you should try to master this tank and master how to use the terrain and how to create lines of fire for yourself, so that you can get lots of damage in the game. Now, once the VK will peak out, as you can see, the amount of gun depression he has is not enough to instantaneously get a shot on us. Now, vice versa, we will have the gun depression in order to instantaneously get a shot on him, and so this is what we want to achieve right here. Unfortunately, he is taken out. And so now we have to kind of calculate what we can do next. And let's pause here real quick. Now, if you take a look at the enemy tank composition, and this is very, very important for you, you have to take a look at which tank already was spotted and which tank was not spotted. So there are only 2 tanks alongside with artillery, obviously, but artillery is usually somewhere at the back of the map. But there are only 2 tanks which are not spotted so far. So the Strv 74, which has good gun depression, and the Dicker Max. So those 2 tanks could be positioned right here, and so chances are that we will see those tanks. But besides those 2 tanks, there's not a single tank on this flank, because all the rest was spotted anywhere else on the map. And so we have a lot of support from our team. We have 2 tank destroyers and we have 2 medium tanks. So once we make pressure and once we spot the enemy, we can be relatively sure to have support of our team. So this now drives my decision making. And so I'm moving over to the 0 lane in order to make pressure. Now, sorry for stopping all the time, but I want to incorporate you into my thought process. Now, I went down here, and if there was another tank, I would have been spotted right now. So I could, I can move down here and then just wait until I get spotted. And if I get spotted, I would wait behind this building. But as I did not get spotted, I can just continue to move forward. So this is my thought process right here. And you have to understand those points, those decision points in World of Tanks, which tell you what to do next. Either play defensively or make pressure and play aggressively. And so right here I can play aggressively because I do have the support of my team. We get a shot on the Skoda T-25. No, he's behind a building. But as you can see, we now spotted the Nashorn, the German tank destroyer. And now here you go. As you can see, we outplayed him by our gun depression because he was unable to get a shot on us while we were in the position to you know, take him under fire. And so this is the flexibility that such a tank offers you if you have such a nice gun depression. Now, there is no other tank. I was also expecting the Strv 74 to be on that flank. However, there's no other tank, and now we have to instantaneously move towards the middle. The game is already won, and now we have to increase the amount of damage that we can make. And so this is why I move forward towards the middle. So instead of moving down here and wasting time, so on the K lane, I want to continue to move towards the middle and fight against those tanks in order to make damage. And now I am even, because I preserved my hit points, I'm willing to sacrifice good trades in order to just make more damage, because as you can see, all my teammates are already arrived at the middle, and so I will not have much time in order to make damage, so I'm sacrificing, let's say, intelligent trades in order to just increase the amount of damage. Now, obviously the game becomes closer, 8-5 only. Okay, I thought I could evade this shot by just reloading faster, but that was not what I could do. So obviously the game is now closer, so we should now start to preserve our hit points, because here you go. Okay, now 11-6, so now once again the game is pretty much over. This can obviously change relatively quickly, especially at lower tiers. So yeah, but it should always, all those information that you can get out of the game should kind of influence your decision-making process if you want to get a good result out of the game. So yep, we are not drowning here, and now we can use our sniper gun in order to maybe get a shot on the T-25. Now let's can we get a shot on the... Okay. As you can see, the Dicker Max is... okay, the Dicker Max is still positioned right here, and so now, unfortunately, I am one shot, so I need to play defensively, and I cannot move out of cover, because I will get shot down. Okay, let's see, maybe we can get a blind shot. Maybe he is in this position. It looks like he is even not spotting us, so I will now continue with some blind shots. Maybe he's here, or maybe there. Okay, that was lucky. I thought I would not be spotted, but I was spotted, and now, okay, so it's now just time for us to stand still and to... Okay, I bounced a shot. Okay, that is... Okay. Bounced the shot. Okay, that was very unfortunate. And now, yeah, it is time to get a shot on the T-34-85M. Now we do need to hurry up, because obviously the enemy team is also trying to rush this tank. And once again, we will use the terrain and we will use our gun depression in order to get a shot on this tank. Now, obviously the game is won. We want to get damage, so we will play aggressively even if he takes us out. But that is not the case. And yeah. So all in all, we made 2,100 damage, approximately 400 combined, and I think a very solid result in a tier 6 tank. And I think I showed you why this tank is one of the strongest, if not the strongest medium tank on tier 6 in World of Tanks. So my recommendation is get this tank, try to master this tank, try to use its mobility, try to use its accurate gun, try to use its flexibility on a ridgeline, and try to use that in order to position yourself where you need to be in order to create lines of fire to get good results in World of Tanks. And this tank does not have any limitation with its superb gun depression, so you can basically position yourself anywhere on the map. This is the strength of this tank, and so I really recommend to get this tank. Get it into your garage, get a good crew on it, try to master it, and if you've mastered this tank, then you will have understood so much more about positioning on a map, and yeah, you will be a better player in World of Tanks. How do I play the Skoda T-25? As you can see, I am playing it with improved ventilation, then obviously coated optics, which is a must-have, and then I am using the improved rotation mechanism, because keep in mind you cannot use gun rammer on an autoloader tank, so I want to improve the gun accuracy, which is not the best one, even for a tier 6 tank. Now, my crew is relatively new. It does have brothers in arms, then I'm working on the gun handling skills, because this is very important for this tank. It is, in my opinion, the preferred option compared to concealment, but I will definitely train concealment afterwards, because that is what a medium tank is all about, and thereafter I will train repairs. Now, this tank does have a very fine gun. 110 alpha damage is on the lower side. However, you have a 3-shot autoloader gun and your reload time is insanely good, so only 1.33 seconds, meaning that you will have you can deal 330 damage within only a couple of seconds, and your overall reload is only 7.31 seconds. So a very, very fine gun, plus the mobility is insanely good, 21.1 specific horsepower, so and 60 kilometers per hour top speed. So a very mobile tank combined with 3 shot autoloader gun. Talking about the tech tree, in my opinion, as I said, the Skoda T-25 is one of the best tier 6 medium tanks, if not the best one. That unfortunately does not apply to the tier 7 tank. This is basically trash. Same applies for the tier 8 tank, one of the worst tanks in the game. However, on tier 9 things change rapidly. This is one of the best medium tanks tier for tier on tier 9. And same applies for the Skoda, sorry, for the TVP T5051, one of the best medium tanks on its tiers, and those tanks have the same insane autoloader capability that the tier 6 tank offers, the Skoda T-25. Alright, so in the next game we are spawning on Prokhorovka in the south in a tier 8 matchup. But as usual, let's first of all take a look at the map. Spawning on Prokhorovka in the south, the situation usually looks like this, and with the medium tank you have several options on this open map. One is to play super defensively right here, which I do not recommend. The other one is to support your heavy tanks in the middle to maybe get crossfire towards the hill. The third option, and that is my preferred option if you spawn in the south, usually also in the north, is to go here and maybe use the opportunity to go aggressively in front here in order to spot those tanks that can then be taken under fire from the middle. Okay, so that is exactly what we are going to do. Now, we are on the one hand in a good situation because we're playing on an open map like Prokhorovka with a medium tank, which is good. On the other hand, though, we are playing in a tier 8 matchup, so we are pretty much inferior to a lot of tanks. And as you can see, there's an AMBT platoon in the enemy team, so those tanks are extremely dangerous, especially if they are playing in a platoon. Now, why do I think that the Skoda T-25 is one of the best, if not the best, tier 6 medium tank? Well, I believe it has an insane firepower with a 3-shot autoloader, so you can deal approximately 300 damage in only, I think it's a little bit more than 2 seconds, so insanely good for tier 6. Now, on the other hand, this tank has quite some nice mobility, and I use this mobility in order to push forward to this side. Now, once again, anytime I play World of Tanks, I don't just rush into a position without having a thought process behind it. Now, so yeah, what I want to say is, before I rush into a position, I have a little thought process running into my head, and I'm asking myself, is it possible and is it feasible and does it make sense to rush into a position? So let's see. So first of all, we have 2 very dangerous tier 8 medium tanks, 2 times AMBT or 2 AMBTs. So those tanks are dangerous. However, on the other hand, they are not as fast as I am. So I will not encounter those 2 tanks as long as I rush into a position. So the Leo is also a very fast tank, so I might encounter this tank, and then the rest of the team, as you can see, the A43 might be, or is relatively fast, but not as fast as I am. The Cromwell is faster, however, he is already spotted, and as you can see, he is in this position, and that's it. I don't fear the AMD 178B because he's just a weak tank, and so I made the decision that I can rush into this position, and if I would see that, let's say, other dangerous tanks, for example, the AMBT, are rushing to this position, I could escape right here and then just fall back and not play on this position. Now, on my way here, I recognized that one AMBT was spotted here, and so chances are that his platoon brother is also playing in this area of the map. So that is good for me, because now the only question is, where is the Leo? And I will try to get this information as soon as I can. And as you can see, the Leo is also in this position. Now That was a bad trade. That was a misplay by myself, a very bad mistake, because I surprised the Leo, and yes, I took the shot, which was good, but after the first shot I should have retreated as soon as possible in order to evade his shot. Now, he has a 1 high alpha gun, which obviously this Leo player is using, the 300 alpha gun, so I lost 300 of my HP right at the beginning of the game, which is very, very stupid from me, or of me. So now I do need to be cautiously, and now the problem is those players are aware that I'm here, so I pretty much do have a problem, and I do need to play cautiously. By the way, if you are playing the Leo, the tier 7 Swedish medium tank played with a low alpha gun, yes, you have a lower alpha and the penetration value is slightly worse. However, you have a much more accurate gun, and so it is much more beneficial to play this tank with the small alpha gun. Now, what I'm doing here is I just want to spot the tanks that are playing in this area so that they can be taken under fire from the middle. And as you can see, we have the 122 TM in the middle with the 400 alpha gun, and so as long as he is supporting us, everything is fine. Okay, so yeah, I'm playing cautiously, and what you should try to master with this tank is the combination of a mobile tank with an autoloader gun. If you have mastered this combination, then you will be a better player in World of Tanks. And there are so many strong tanks, ultra strong tanks, medium tanks, which have this kind of combination, and it is very, very strong. However, you have to understand the concept of those tanks and how you can play them, okay? So this is what I want to tell you in this video. The Skoda T-25 is an exceptionally strong tank on tier 6, and I really recommend to get this tank and to master it before you move on to higher tiers and play, let's say, other autoloader tanks on tier 8, tier 9 or tier 10. So what can we do right now? I think we should be a little bit cautiously because after all, we are the low tier tank in this situation, and right now I'm just concentrating on getting more damage. And as you can see, the gun handling of the Skoda T-25 is not the best one. Obviously, something needs to be done with the balancing this tank. However, if you fully aim in your shots, you certainly can hit your targets. Now, as you can see, our team is making pressure, and so we definitely do need to follow. And so instead of, like, if you move down here, there are not a lot of courses of action, I would say, that you can take. So one is to go down here, as those tanks did. So the possibility is to move all the way down here to limit the time that you are exposed from tanks maybe waiting over here. And then once you manage to go down here, you are basically safe behind this little ridgeline or hill, or however you want to call it, from those tanks. Now, obviously those tanks already went into this position, so I would only be the third guy going there. So my decision is to go here and use this little the little terrain features here in order to be protected, but also use this little house here and the bushes here in order to be protected from tanks waiting over here. And the benefit that I have is I will be able to spot those tanks once they take me under fire, so I get maybe, hopefully, some additional assisting damage. So let's see how it goes. Alright, now we spotted one AMBT, which is good, but we get spotted, so now we definitely do want to wait behind the house. We're loading gold ammunition because the penetration increases to 185 at least. Obviously our silver ammunition only has 132, which is a little bit lackluster on tier 6. Another balancing feature of this tank. Now, as the AMBT is taken out, we can reload the standard ammunition, because after all, we want to play, we're free-to-play players and we want to make credits as much as possible. And now, once again, I talked about this in my Leopard 1 versus Leopard PTA video. If you peek out here, which is obviously necessary because you want to first of all get damage to those tanks here, and then also you want to maybe spot some other tanks, always peek out behind cover. So I want to peek out here so that I limit the amount of surface of my tank which is exposed to all the tanks waiting behind here in this very strong defensive position. So never ever peek out here and expose your full tank profile to the enemy. Always peek out behind some cover to at least make it difficult for enemy tanks to take shots on you, and then also limit the time you are exposed, and so reduce the possibility to take fire. Now I want to obviously get my full clip on the A43. Nice, 338 damage, which is good. And obviously if I was playing in a autoloader tank which had a longer reload time, I could not take the whole clip, but I would have to fall back. There you go. It's taken out. Nice. And as soon as my clip is empty, and as soon as I do need to reload, I will fall back into cover to not be exposed to other tanks, obviously. Now, the game is once again already won, so I do need to hurry up, because if you take a look at the map, you can see that I will only collect assisting damage if I am the first tank to spot some other tanks. So I need to hurry up, and yeah, I didn't manage to preserve all of my hit points, but at least 513 in this game, and so I just want to hurry up to get some more damage. Now let's see, here you go. Here you go. This is what I wanted to achieve. I wanted to... Yep, nice, and here you go. Ooh, that was bad. I did not expect this one. I expected the Su-130 PM to be waiting over here. But that's how it is. And here you go. Can we get some more damage? Yes. No. No, actually we cannot. So yeah. I think it was the right gameplay, because staying too much defensively in this situation would have meant that we would not have been able to get any more damage. So I think this is not a mistake. And in the end we made 1700 damage, 1600 assisting damage in a tier 8 matchup. And this once again shows the strengths of this tank. So all in all, 3,300 damage altogether. And so yeah, I really recommend to play this tank. Try to master its mobility, try to master its autoloader, and if you have done so, you will be a much better player in World of Tanks. Alright guys, that was it for today with the second part of the best tier 6 tanks plus some additional tips and tricks. What do you think about the Strv 74 and the Skoda T-25? Do you think those tanks are the best ones on tier 6? Do you agree with my opinion to master those tanks prior moving on to high tier gameplay? Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I see you next time in another World of Tanks video.